Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Breeze. Breezeway Productions The Breeze. We're bringing the latest in independent films and film festival screenings that are happening, and we are excited to have a film that is screening at this year's 2022 edition of the Sundance Film Festival. It is Maika, the Girl from Another Galaxy, and we have director-writer Tran with us here today, as well as one of the producers, Jenny Trang. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Alex.
Thanks for having us.
For sure. Thanks for coming on the show. So tell us a little bit about a film that's accepted into the festival this year.
Well, Maika is the story about an 8-year-old boy whose mother has just passed away. He's trying to, get over the grief of losing his mother. And his relationship with his father is strained. His best friend has just moved away. And on top of it, they're being bullied to move, intimidated to move out of their building by a really greedy landlord. And so, things get really tough, and he goes to his place of solace, which is at the roof of his building, and he looks at the sky, and he prays for his mom to help him, and he witnesses a meteor shower, and then an errant star that falls. It's a purple star, and it explodes behind the mountain. So he quickly gets his stuff and he goes up, rides his bike up to the mountain to see what's going on, and there he meets an alien girl, and she's lost, and he, in the hopes of trying to help her get back to her planet, she helps him restore all the bad things that are going on in his life. And so they become the best of friends. And this is Vietnam's first family sci-fi film, but it's inspired by an old TV show from the Czech Republic in the 1970s, right? Called The Girl Who Fell Out of the Blue Sky. And so the main character, Maika, her name is actually inspired by the same name from the old TV show. That's and awesome. we've put a couple of little sort of Easter eggs and little hats off to the old TV show as well.
Yeah, that was cool. It was a very a light film, a very wholehearted film. It's a good family friendly vibe that I was getting from it, and a lot of fantasy that was put into it. So you got the inspiration from the television show from the Czech Republic. What other assets did you put into it that made it really your own to really showcase it as this project will?
I think really it's just the idea of the character was the only thing that was inspired by the show. But the character that she meets, the little boy, that's pretty much me. Because
Ham's also wearing a similar wardrobe.
Oh yes. Purple was a very big color, big theme for the film.
He's always in like plaid, and Ham is pretty much always in plaid. So.
Yeah.
Nice, I can relate.
The parallels between the two characters, But I was personally trying to get over the grief of losing my mom, and so BHD, the company, contacted me. They had been trying to develop the project for about 4 years. This is back in 2018, and so when they approached me and I read the first description about the character, I was like, okay, I have to do this project. I know exactly what this main character is going through, and in a way, Maika helped me as well to overcome my grief. And so I'm hoping that it would do the same for a lot of the audiences out there, to really appreciate family, and to really remind each other to love, and cherish your kids and parents. Yeah.
Which is very true. It's one of the things that some people forget when they get caught up in the everyday life of just existence, of work and travel or whatever they have to do, that it really, when it boils down to it, family is one of the core essentials of finding happiness and relationship and growth together. So you did capture that very well in your film. Tell me about the producing aspect of it. So the length of how long it took from conception to completion, and what was the most exciting parts during that journey?
Well, first of all, the filmscape in Vietnam is a little different in the sense that there are a lot of people, all the theaters want films, like the theatrical audience is very, very robust in Vietnam. And so there's not enough, people aren't making movies fast enough. So it's kind of an opposite problem, LA, where there's lots of investment. Everybody's like, oh yes, where's the projects? Where are the directors, and versus in Vietnam. And so when you do a film, there's just sort of like a 9 month, like a baby, it's like from conception to release in theaters. Mm-hmm. When you start shooting, you already know when it's going to be released theatrically. For Maika, was Maika was different in the sense that it took a very long time. It took, normally we shoot, 5-6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks if it's an action film, but Maika took 1 year, and we had about like 6 different starts and stops and starts. Starting off with before the pandemic, starting off with the monsoons, because we were shooting in Da Nang, which is like a coastal town in the central Vietnam, and then there was just that year had so many huge monsoons, like it just would not stop, and so we decided, okay, we have to just cut our losses, go back to Saigon, because that's where most of the crew is, and then wait it out and go and then restart, and then of course school, and then the pandemic. So in Vietnam, in 2020, actually Vietnam did pretty well. But the reason why the Vietnam did so well was that every time there was just one case, and I'm not talking about thousands, like one case, like the whole country shuts down, and just to take care of that one case, to contact trace, put everybody into quarantine whether they want to or not, and so I remember we were about to go to Da Nang again to do another round. And like there was this couple, these 2 tourists, right? They literally went to every single location that we were going to shoot. And at the time, Vietnam had not shut down, but everybody knew about it, right? It was all over the news. And so we as a production had a meeting with everybody, with the whole cast and crew, and said, like, how do you feel? We're supposed to leave for Da Nang in like 2 days. So how do you guys feel about going there? And everybody raised their hand and said, we don't want to go.
We don't want to go.
And then, our gaffer was like, can you find someone else? Because I'm not going to do this show anymore. Like everybody, like, they were like, okay, we're going to stop. We'll stop. And then it was, it was pandemic. So we're sort of like, we didn't know how long to wait. And so we just decided, okay, we're going to sort of like, go to another city that looks kind of like Da Nang, and then finally, we found another city. We had to rescout, do everything, and then that of course took more time. And then the last portion was in studio, and we recreated actually the house that Home and the Father. We recreated the whole thing in the studio.
Yeah. And then we thought, why can't we just do that from the beginning?
Yes,
by any means necessary.
So that was like a year later, and of course they're kids. We started filming when they were 8 years old. We finished when they were 9, and actually, like Home was this tall, and Maika was this short, a little shorter than him, and slowly she got taller. She also lost teeth and then grew teeth. And then if you look really closely, you see it, but she's an alien, so it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, and then they age differently.
And then Bale, the chubby sidekick, he didn't change at all. Like he was the most, like he was fun,
very expressive character. He really showcased his emotions very well.
That kid, he's been performing since he was 4 years old. Like there's videos of him on YouTube if you want to go down a Vietnamese YouTube hole. Tintin Vietnam, just put Tintin Vietnam, and he is like, he sings, dances, he sings opera, he raps.
A multi-hyphenate at such a young age.
Oh no, he was great. He was great.
So it was just like, it was really challenging because in Vietnam there aren't any like specific child labor laws. You really have to, as a producer, use your moral compass and really just treat everyone with respect, including the kid, especially the kids and the parents. And it's a lot of like, coming from the US, of course, I knew, certain laws and sort of like, okay, what can we do and how can we keep our kids healthy and happy, And so it was mostly that, because it's all kids, I think that we had, I don't know, like very few all adult scenes, But,
and that added to a lot of our production days. We went, Because, they just, when they can't work, they can't work,
Yeah.
And so you have to think like that.
It's a miracle that all of these films were still able to be made for a festival that took place after a pandemic, when there were lockdowns and situations like you explained in your country, of people quitting projects and getting COVID and then having to leave the set or whatever it is. There's shutdowns and starts. So
it didn't end there, Alex. It didn't end there. I was in post-production trying to deliver for Sundance, and sort of like the colorist got sick, and then we found another colorist to come in to help her, and he caught COVID. So we went through 3 colorists just to try to deliver to Sundance on time, even by the end of it.
And I think that like, because both Ham and I have been in Vietnam for over 10 years, and I've produced 14 feature films which is a crazy number, but knowing how fast things go, they've all been released in the theaters, and so when we did this film together, we didn't think about, oh, are we going to submit it to film festivals, or we just normally, like what we do with our films, it's for the Vietnamese audience, it's for the Vietnamese market, and that's it. And it was really, Anderson and Bauer, other producers on the project, that really pushed us, to be like, hey, I think this could be a Sundance film. We're like,
I was
what?
like, really?
What are you talking about?
Film produced in Vietnam, really? Do you think it'll work for Sundance? And we just submitted, and we're so happy and so honored that we're a part of it, and to be a part of the kids section. It's absolutely perfect for this film. And what a great welcoming back.
And we found out that it's actually the first Vietnamese produced feature film to be shown at Sundance. So
wow. That's something that could be like the pride and joy of Vietnam right there, for the acceptance this year, for the wonderful film that really just like reinvigorated happiness and wonderment and fantasy. I very much enjoyed watching the film. So we hope that our audiences are able to check it out when it's going to be available. Again, the film is Maika and the Girl from Another Galaxy. It was really heartwarming and some content that we need right now, a great film to watch. So I wanted to thank both of you for joining me today, director Ham Tran and producer Jenny Trangley. So thank you so much for joining today. And we hope that our audience is able to check out the film, and congratulations again.
Yes, we're hoping to hit the theater soon.